Hey, good evening. Actually, late afternoon, everybody. Dan here, Ultimate Boston Red Sox Collector page on Facebook and YouTube videos. Did not do a video yesterday. Actually, didn't have any new mail yesterday, which is a rarity for me. Seems like I got swamped with everything on Monday, but today I actually had a couple of packages. I had some couple of slabs, a new autographed baseball for the Red Sox collection, some new Red Sox cards for the collection, and some new Hall of Famers from my Hall of Fame albums. So a lot to get to today, so I'll get started right away. I'm going to start off today with my Red Sox cards that I got. This was part of an order from Sport Lots, and I'm going to touch a little bit more on this at the end of the video once I show everything, because I want to talk about a new service that I tried through Sport Lots that I'm bitterly disappointed with. So this stack right here, about 25 to 30 cards, mostly Curt Schillings that I did not have from years from the mid-2000s, 2004, 2005. For whatever reason, Schillings were very heavy on my want list, so I decided to search Curt Schilling off of one seller and found a bunch of cards that I did not have, most of them 18 cents a card, and started an order with that and then decided to fill it out with a bunch of Hall of Famers. So this is the stack of Hall of Famers. Probably about 75 Hall of Fame cards, maybe not that many, it's probably 55 to 60. This is mostly insert cards, to be honest with you. There's probably about a 70-30 mix of inserts and parallels. Just to show one here, a nice foil Bowman 92 throwback card of Pudge Rodriguez. 87 Topps, Randy Johnson. And then these were about a bunch of these. These are the Hall of Fame cards. These are from 2018, where the new Hall of Famers all basically had their own little subset. So I got a bunch of the Chipper Jones, a bunch of the Jim Thomes, and a bunch of the Trevor Hoffmans, all from the same seller. Those are three guys that I don't have a lot of cards of in my album. Unfortunately, they're not going to go in the album. They're going to go in top loaders, and this is going to probably fill up my first box, 1,600 count box of insert cards. So was happy to get those today. And again, I'll tell a little story about that order at the end of the video. Next thing I'll show is my new autographed baseball for the Red Sox collection. This gentleman was a member of the 2007 World Series team and is probably most remembered for his part of the Mother's Day Miracle, and I believe this was in 2007. Don't quote me on this, where he had basically the walk-off infield hit in that game, where he called himself safe at first base. And I remember this game because I watched this game, being at my parents' house and watching the game and saying, "Oh my goodness, they're down. They're never going to win this game," and they came back to win it. So it was a really cool game. Mr. Julio Lugo. Again, you're not going to get a good picture here. Too much light on this one. If I can get it in a little bit closer, there we go. You'd never know that's Julio Lugo. Kind of a big looping J. That's about all you can see. Number 12 on there. Logo did not wear number 12 with the Red Sox, if I remember correctly. I think he wore that number with Tampa. It's on an official Major League ball. Ball's in really good condition. There is one slight spot of toning. Actually, there's 3 small spots of toning up here. But I got this with shipping for less than $10. So anytime I can add a member of a championship team on an official baseball for $10 or under, I'm going to do it every time. A little toning does not make a big difference to me. I'm going to do a feature at one of these nights of my Hall of Fame baseball collection. Not my Hall of Fame, but my Red Sox baseball collection. I do have several Hall of Famers in that collection, but I got to get about 8 or 9 ball cubes because I got a lot of balls just sitting in plastic bags right now because the local card store that I buy them from has been closed. They have reopened, so I am going to be trying to get there actually during the day tomorrow on my day off. So I want to get my baseballs out and kind of do a showcase. Probably not going to showcase them all. I have close to 180 different names now, but I may try to do, a chunk at a time and just show those off because that's one of my favorite parts of my collection is my autographed baseball collection. So I'll be showing those off at some point too. So Julio Lugo. member of the 2007 World Series team. Then my last item to show in this video are my two new PSA slabs that came in today. These both came from the same seller. I actually didn't realize they came from the same seller, and the seller, I don't think they ended very far apart, and the seller never offered me a shipping discount, so I was a little disappointed when I saw the envelope today. Normally I'm right on top of that and I will request a total and get a discount on shipping, but I did not do that this time. So I overpaid on the shipping on these for sure. And quite honestly, it was a little slow getting here compared to the other ones I bought around the same time. But two very nice cards of a division rival of the Red Sox, the Baltimore Orioles. First one I'm going to show is a 1980 Topps Jim Palmer in a near mint to mint PSA 8. Very nice card. I'm really starting to appreciate the older cards as I go back. This one is 40 years old. I'm 46 years old. I look back at these are cards that I collected as a kid, and I never looked at some of the early sets from the 80s as really being nice designs or nice photography, but I'm starting to really appreciate the designs and the photography of the earlier Topps cards or the older Topps cards. 1980 to me when I was growing up was never really that exciting, but as I get more cards, I just love the photography. Simple picture of him probably doing an interview, but just a nice card. And of course, Jim Palmer, great hair. All right, and the next one, this is probably the best condition pre-1980 card that I have, or the oldest pre-1980 card in the highest grade, I think. I'll have to double check back, but this one I got, it's a 1974 Topps, that's my birth year, Brooks Robinson, and that's in a near mint to mint 8. Always liked Brooks Robinson growing up, never got to see him play, but heard all the great stories about how great a defensive third baseman he was, and I've seen so many highlights. He was a pretty good hitter too, but was a great defensive third baseman. Very underappreciated, and this one grades high. I think this one's going to continue to climb in value. I think a lot of his cards are going to continue to rise with everything going on, and in a high grade 8, I looked at this one. There was a lot of activity on this one, and I had to really work to win it, but I was happy to get it in the end and be a very nice addition to my PSA graded collection of Hall of Famers. So add those two to the collection. Those are both two new players that I've added, so I got to update my registry. I am doing the PSA set registry for Hall of Famers. I'm just going to keep track of what I have. I'm not necessarily using that as a buying tool right now, as to say, okay, I got to go this week. I'm going to try to get an early win and a Ricky Henderson this week, or next week I'm going to try to get a Craig Biggio and a Greg Maddux, or whatever. I'm not doing that right now. I'm buying based on what I see out there for reasonable prices and good prices. And I have been started out doing 8s and 9s and an occasional 7, and now I'm the older cards. I'm forced financially. I'm forced to go down to 3s and 4s. I really don't want to go less than a 4, but there's even some decent 3s out there. So, and if it's a really older card or a really big name, I may go to a 1 or a 2. I don't really want to get any of those in my collection because I'm not a fan of creased cards. I just don't buy them. And I definitely don't want anything PSA graded that has creases in it as well. So the budget's going to determine basically who I'm shopping for and what I'm willing to spend. So that's it for new stuff for today. I want to touch base, or I want to talk a little bit about that Sport Lots order that I got. So Sport Lots, I've been buying from Sport Lots probably for as long as I've been on eBay. And I've ordered probably, 100 and some odd orders from Sport Lot sellers over the years, and I've done a lot of repeat business with Sport Lot sellers because I've always been very happy with the service and very happy with the pricing. The sellers are very quick to process and ship orders. Always been very super happy with Sport Lots. So I would have to honestly say, other than getting an occasional wrong card, this is my first bad experience with Sport Lots, and I'll explain why. And it might be that I just didn't educate myself properly on this. But I ordered this order, like I had said. I started out by searching a bunch of Kurt Schilling cards, found a bunch, decided I was going to put it into my shopping cart, and then I said, well, I'm going to make this order worthwhile, and I'm going to stack it with Hall of Famers, because I was new to that at the time. So I decided to stack it up. I had a couple other orders that I had put together as well from other sellers. Same concept, some Red Sox cards and then some Hall of Famers. And then when I was going to try to take advantage of the Sport Lost box system. Now, they actually have on their site, they have a little video tutorial that talks about the Sport Lost box system because I never really understood how it worked because some of the sellers offer a pretty deep discount on shipping when you do it that way. And others, it's very similar or very close. So I had put together 3 or 4 orders and was going to do the box system. Now they made it very clear in the video that if you were in a hurry to get these cards, this was not the way to go. Because it basically, from how I understood it, it sent your cards from the seller to a Sport Lost box, where the seller would then wait and send a bunch of orders together to the box to reduce the shipping costs for you. Now, what it did not state in the video, unless I really wasn't paying attention or missed it, was that you had to pay an additional fee from the Sport Lost box to get your order. So I placed my order, and as I said before, always had good service with them, always been very quick and timely. Well, my order shipped to the Sport Lots box, and granted, this was the only order I did. I held off on the other ones because, first of all, the discount wasn't that great, and budgetary-wise, I said, this is the one I want to buy right now, and I kind of had to limit myself to that one order. So I placed the order. The seller sent me the email within 24 hours that the order had been picked and processed and was being sent to my box. Great. Now, I figured, okay, he's got a lot of feedback. He probably processes many orders a week, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to send a week's worth of orders to the Sport Lots box, and then they will distribute them from there. That's how I understood how the system worked. I didn't understand that, okay, your order is sitting in your box, and sitting in your box, and sitting in your box. Now, in order to get your order, because you have to scroll down to the bottom of the page to see this, because then when I went back and rewatched the video, this is how I learned this. Like, where are my cards? Why have I not gotten this order yet? It's been 2.5 weeks. I never wait this long. So I go back on Sport Lots and I look. I rewatch the video, and sure enough, scroll down to the bottom of the page once you see that it's in your box, and then click shipped, basically to ship it again. I had to pay another $5.80 to get my order. I ended up paying about $7.50 to $8 for a bubble mailer to get shipped to me, and I waited 3 weeks for it. Not impressed. Sorry. If I misunderstood it, then shame on me, but I don't think I did. I really looked at this as a way to save money, and the thing that I had initially thought I'm going to get 3 or 4 orders at once, and maybe that would have been better. Maybe I wouldn't have had to pay as much, but I didn't get it. I paid, like I said, almost $8 shipping on this, when I think if I would have just ordered it regular, I may have paid $5 to $5.50. So I feel like I really got ripped off by Sport Lots. I really do. If anybody else has had this experience or knows any differently, obviously I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to do it again. It's just not worth it, especially for a single order. Now, if I'm doing 4 or 5 orders of, let's say I'm just doing Red Sox cards, and this seller has 10 cards, this one has 15, this one has 10, this one has 20. It is a way to get more cards from multiple sellers, and I don't think the impact would be as big. But regardless, I just thought that was ridiculous. I do love Sport Lots. The only thing I wish, and I actually sent an email out a while back, is that they would allow you to search by team. Us team collectors out there, Sport Lots is not a great tool when you compare it to places like Beckett and ComC and Card Barrel. You can't search by, actually Card Barrel, I don't know if you can search by team either, but Beckett you can search by team, and ComC you can search by team. Sport Lots, you can't. You type in Boston Red Sox, all you're going to get are team checklist cards, or any other card that has Boston Red Sox in it, like maybe Fleer sticker cards from the 80s or something to that effect. So I had actually wrote them an email and said, hey, why can't you guys, fix it so that you can search a seller by team? And they said that they responded and said that they apparently used to do that, but it was too difficult for the sellers because it was more information they had to enter. Well, sometimes you got to work a little bit harder to get better results. And I really wasn't happy with that answer. I was like, well, I think you guys are losing out because your prices are so much cheaper, and maybe this would cause their prices to go up. I don't know, but it just seemed to me that you could maybe try to tweak it to put a search engine in there, or maybe come up with a database of all the cards and automatically, hook them back up with teams. If you were searching, 1985 Topps Red Sox, you would get all of the 1985 Topps Red Sox cards out of that, and it would save the buyer, myself, a lot of time and a lot of searching, because now I have to do it by player. And honestly, if I'm putting together team sets of every Red Sox set, I'm not going to be just searching for Pedro Martinez or Kurt Schilling or Wade Boggs or Carl Yastrzemski. I'm going to be searching for Dave Stapleton and Ed Urak and Glenn Hoffman and Brian Daubach and Tony Pena, and I could go on for hours doing that, but it just doesn't make any sense to me that they wouldn't try to do that and help the seller out. But so. I'm still going to use Sport Lots. Again, this is just a shame on me type thing. Maybe I didn't do my homework properly, or maybe it's just not a good system. I don't know. But I'm definitely not going to do the box option again, because, again, way slower and more money. Why would I do it again? So I've learned my lesson on that one, and hopefully I can save some other collectors the aggravation. Again, maybe it works if you're ordering from multiple sellers. Maybe it brings the price down and it actually does save you money. In this case, it cost me money, and I hate spending money on shipping. And if you watch my videos, boy, I hate shipping. And I work for the post office. That's what we do. And, but I just hate overpaying for shipping. It really kills a great deal on a card, a single card of any kind, of any amount, 99-cent card, and you have to pay $4 for shipping. No thanks. I'm all set. I'll try to negotiate with the seller. Hey, we sell it, send it to PWE, and I'll give you $1 for the shipping, or $1.50 even for the shipping. But I hate to pay $4 for a 99-cent card. So anyway, that's my ramble for today. I'm expecting some more stuff tomorrow. I do have some more slabs coming in. I do have another Red Sox autograph ball coming, and I have some Red Sox things coming. I do have a team set that I've been chasing for a long time that I found a lot of 3 of them, and I paid 99 cents for all 3 plus the shipping. So I was super excited about that, because I think I can probably find a Red Sox collector who doesn't have the other 2, who doesn't have the other set. I probably can find multiple and trade those. So yeah, I mentioned in one of my videos too that I was looking to possibly sell my Red Sox duplicates. I'm going to reach out to the people that have emailed me about that. I'm going to kind of put that on hold for right now. I actually want to get my duplicates sorted, inventoried on Trading Card Database, so I can actually have a physical inventory of what I have, because it's way too hard to place a price on it if I don't really know what's in there. And I think that will obviously allow me to do that, and then I can sell cards individually. If people say, hey, I'll buy these 100 cards from you. So I know that there was a couple people that emailed me about cards, and I'm just not ready to pull the trigger on that yet. I got to get those organized somehow. I got to get a table set up, probably in my garage now that it's a little warmer, and start sorting those cards, because I really do want to get them organized and inventoried and cataloged and in better order. Because if I am going to sell them, I'm gonna make more off of them doing it that way, and I'm also going to feel better about letting them go. So I'm making sure that I'm not picking anything out of there. I don't care if they're duplicates. I one of each. That's what I want. So yeah. So my apologies to those people. I will email you back. I promise. I've been a little busy this week. So. That's all I have today. I hope everybody is staying safe out there, whether it be from COVID-19 or from the demonstrations and protests that are going on throughout the country. Fortunately, living in a small town in Maine, we've had some protests. They've been peaceful so far. We haven't had any issues at the post office like they've had in Minneapolis, and hopefully I'm praying that will not get to that point here. I really don't expect it. Different kind of people, and I wouldn't have thought people in Minneapolis necessarily were that violent. And I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to open up a can of worms. I have my own opinions about what's going on, but I'm going to keep those to myself. But I hope everybody's staying safe, and we will see you soon. Take care.